Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to give everyone just a couple of minutes to join. In the interim, while we wait for people to hop on, please go ahead and send where you're joining us from. All right, it looks like we have some people joining us. So hi, everyone. I'm Christy Brown with Club Automation, MotionSoft, and CSI Spectrum, and I am so excited you joined us for today's session on how Netchex makes staff engagement and HR compliance a breeze. During today's session, we'll discuss how using Netchex together with Club Automation can set your team up to eliminate manual processes and make staff and membership management much more streamlined for your club. We are proud to partner with Netchex for many reasons, including their value and commitment to excellent customer service. In fact, they have one of the highest customer satisfaction rates in the industry. Their work with clubs of all sizes and their expertise of understanding your needs, and of course, their overall suite of solutions that save you time and risk of errors. Before we hop in, just a couple of bits of housekeeping. All participants have been muted to cut down on background noise. So please feel free to send in your Q&A via the chat or the Q&A feature down at the bottom. We'll have time dedicated towards the end to get the questions answered. And then the last note is that this session is being recorded. So if you want to share it with anyone on your team, we will send that as a follow-up at the start of next week. With that, let's dive in. I'm going to turn it over to Chris from Netchex to kick us off.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, and super excited to be here with you guys. My name's Chris. I'm a sales engineer at Netchex, and I'll be taking you through the presentation. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'll come back for Q&A. Just want to give you guys the full screen here while we go through this. So just a quick background. I've been at Netchex and in this space now for about 11 years. Started out on the customer support side, and have been working with clients in the health club space for quite some time. In fact, Franco's Health Club was actually our 4th client at Netchex. They've been with us for almost 20 years now. So I've been working with health clubs really my entire career at Netchex, and I'm just super excited about the partnership that we're launching with Club Automation and what I know that's going to be able to do for you guys. So for those of you who may not know us, allow me to just introduce Netchex to you. You know, we've been around the block for a while now, in fact, almost 20 years. Today, we service about 5,000 clients in all industries and in all 50 states. And we keep those clients really happy. You know, as you heard, we've got one of the highest retention rates in this payroll HR market. About 95% of our clients stick with us, including Franco's, like I mentioned, who's been a happy customer for almost 20 years now. You'll also notice kind of on the background on the left here, a few familiar logos. We've got groups like YMCA, Goodwill, Cross Gates Gym, Pelican Athletic Center, Camp Gladiator, and others that are in your peer group. So that's just a little bit about Netchex, but I think that's enough about us. Let's talk about you guys. You know, one of the things that I've really learned in the last 10 plus years in this HR business is that HR is a lot like dynamite. And you might be like, wait, Chris, dynamite? Well, you've probably heard the old saying, hey, big things come in small packages, just look at dynamite. Well, when you look at those 2 little letters, HR, wow, they cover a lot. I mean, look at all of these different hats that you guys have to wear. At Netchex, we understand how challenging it is to effectively manage the most crucial part of your organization, the people that keep it running. I mean, from ever-changing compliance to cutting-edge recruitment strategy, to performance and career track management to keep your best employees, to tracking and managing labor costs. I mean, heck, you guys are even stepping in these days to lead fitness classes sometimes. And all of it's essential. So how do you prioritize where to focus? Well, that's where a full suite tech partner that's partnered with your health club management system really can come in to help make a big difference. Let's look at some of the challenges companies are facing today in managing the responsibilities of HR and compliance. And as we do, what we typically find is that most of our clients fall into one or more of 4 main buckets. The first is they can have all manual processes that just waste time and create potential for errors. Or you could have a system, but a system that's not really helping you get work done efficiently, that might feel like more like a band-aid than an actual solution. Or sometimes it's companies that have multiple systems that on their own work fine, but don't interact well together. And so they find themselves updating the same information in multiple places, or they just struggle to get the support they really need. And so as we look at that, let's look at a couple of quotes from some of your peers that are happy Netchex clients who've actually responded to those buckets, and where the partnership with Netchex experienced real improvements in their day-to-day life. Let me share one of their stories with you. This is about Megan of Camp Gladiator. She's one of Netchex's biggest fans, and heck, we love her right back. Before the move to Netchex, everything at Camp Gladiator was tracked in Excel or Google Docs, which meant there was no connection to the payroll system, that they had to rely on accounting to pull reports or provide data when they needed it. And the limitations of ADP not only made payroll difficult, but also onboarding and benefits enrollment were all unnecessarily manual. And as you guys know, more manual work means more time and more money wasted. And as a fast-growing company, constantly in need of hiring, of onboarding, of reporting, Netchex was the perfect solution for Megan and the Camp Gladiator team when they were looking to switch from ADP. Retention is key to a successful company, especially in a field as competitive as personal fitness. And Camp Gladiator Nation ensured that their onboarding and their open enrollment experiences for their new hires and their current employees was seamless and was simple. And they did that with the use of Netchex tools like NetGuide and Net Benefits. Then, as it came to reporting and analyzing cost, NetInsight gave Megan and her team quick access to valuable reports on time and attendance, labor, as well as reports on benefits to help with benefit compliance and ACA compliance. And that's not all. Megan's favorite part about Netchex was the service and support she got. Each one of our accounts, and we'll talk about this in detail, is assigned to a specific service team, not just a specific person. This allows for greater understanding of each one of our accounts, plus gives your team the detail on your needs, your industry. And with that team, you don't have to worry about a service representative who leaves the company or goes out of town, leaving you with unanswered questions. Your team is there to efficiently and professionally take on your issues and solve them with a smile. And that's a story we hear time and time again from our clients who, on average, are saving $50,000 a year in business impact and 17 hours per pay period by eliminating manual processes. And these are real figures that make a real difference for real companies. So let's talk a little more detail about how we make this happen. So as we walk through things like payroll, tax, benefits, what we find works best for our potential clients is focusing on themes that you can utilize to make yourselves better. Now, the buckets that we talked about earlier really come to life in these 4 themes: engagement, compliance, service, and integration. It doesn't take much to realize that employee engagement is huge right now. There's a labor shortage. The demand for talent in the market is absolutely unprecedented. And so our recruiting, our onboarding, time, payroll, benefits, performance, all of this was designed to be mobile accessible to your employees, your managers, and your administrators. And what that means is that your team at every level can see exactly what you need them to know, when you need them to know it, and then they can take action on it directly from their phone for things like punching in, punching out, enrolling in benefits, updating their personal information, pulling payroll and tax copies. In addition, our analytics give your HR team the ability to see what's impacting the organization and then to make key recommendations proactively. As we look at engagement, we really define it as creating an always-on employee experience. Our mobile platform helps reduce friction. It allows peers to give feedback and encouragement. It allows you to push out training and learning to your team members, and to do it all from a platform that's consistently voted one of the easiest to use in the market. We even have you covered on your philanthropic efforts. Our Helping Hands platform was designed to strengthen employee brand perception so that as you find that top talent, you have ways to systematically keep them engaged every single day. So let's look at some examples of how the system can really come to life for you guys. This is a look at the employee's dashboard. For the employee, one of our key goals is to keep it simple enough that even your frontline employees can use and understand it with minimal to no training. Because we know that if employees can't use it, you don't get the value from your investment. And so as you guys can see, employees are easily able to do things like view their pay stub, request time off, verify their personal information, or enroll in benefits, all right from their dashboard. And without any training, I bet you guys would be able to find where to do some of those things right from the mobile app. What we found is that this dramatically reduces the call volume to HR by empowering employees to act for themselves. For example, if they need verification for a loan or for a refinance, which, gosh, everybody refinanced their house last year, right? They could easily go to their dashboard and print out their pay stubs, grab their W-2s for themselves. And although we need this platform to be super easy to use and to understand, we also need it to be robust enough for you to handle what you need on a day-to-day basis. And so this is a look at the administrative dashboard. I like to refer to this as our HR HQ. This admin manager dashboard is where you guys live on a day-to-day basis. Traditionally, the first thing our clients want to reference is here on the left, our HR calendar. This is where you can see things like birthdays. How many PTO requests do I have outstanding? You can even track expiration dates for licenses and certifications in real time. We'll also help you with managing some more complex items. Here in the center, you can keep up with your onboarding. What's outstanding? Is there anything that's past due? As we move to the right, benefits action and enrollment, time and attendance reporting, all right here on your dashboard. Engagement's not just employee engagement, it's also engaging you with your Netchex team. We've built a dedicated help section inside of our platform to help answer your questions, to give you accessibility to extensive online training materials, and give you opportunities for peer group interaction. This has all been developed and put in place to help make sure that you guys are getting the most out of your investment with Netchex. And so as we look at engagement, we're really taking that holistic view of engagement, both engaging your employees with you and engaging you with us and your Netchex experience. The second thing that really resonates with a lot of our clients is compliance. Many of our clients have found compliance can just be confusing. It can be overwhelming. A lot of times business owners don't even realize the full scope of compliance or the amount of change that happens every year. Just a few examples include things like minimum wage, overtime, E-Verify, FMLA, ACA. Don't get me started on the new round of laws with COVID-19. And many of these laws have even changed in the last 18 months, as have the reporting requirements. For example, we recently launched a new W-4. We've got all of these new emergency paid leave plans that came out. We believe that it's critical for compliance to be blended into the fabric of the Netchex application so that you never are at risk of going off the rails. Whether it's minimum wage, new legislation, E-Verify, we're here to make sure that you're always compliant. And if scaling the business is important to you, we can partner with you in every phase. Different industries can have unique employee pay practices, high trainer pay, or requirements related to different geographic locations. For example, you could have employees working in 3 different states that are each subject to different minimum wage laws. They could have different taxes that need to be withheld. You could have a location that's close to a state border and have employees driving across the state to work. We could have employees with different pay types, exempts, non-exempts, full-times, part-times, contractors. And those pay types can determine what regulations you're required to follow ACA or EEOC. And so Netchex is here to make sure that we're helping you navigate that complexity and helping ensure that we're there with you as you grow and unlock new compliance regulations. You know, all of this is super important, but most importantly, we back all this technology with one of the highest rated customer service teams in the industry. Companies often talk about strong service. Oh yeah, we have great service. It's just built into our solution. Unfortunately, what we found is that too often they can't provide any data to validate their claims or to demonstrate what that's worth to you. So on the screen, you can see, obviously we're pretty proud of our stats, but it's our people that really tell the story. You know, at Netchex, we measure our service experience every single day on every single front and in every interaction. We realized that one dedicated support person just wasn't enough for fast-moving businesses. And so with Netchex, you'll actually have a dedicated team of highly trained associates that support our health clubs. They understand your world. Trainer pays and not everybody's hourly. And I've got young people that cover the front desk. Each time you engage with any member of that team, we're going to ask you to kind of rank or grade the quality of the service that you received. Now, we're proud that on average, we're rating about a 4.8 out of 5 stars from our clients. And that's just related to the timely handling of their question, the resolution of their issues. We also publish our service level agreements, which help us establish the time frame or the expectations for when you can expect a different type of service issue to be resolved. And what this does is it allows us to set proper expectations with our clients, and it helps us set the bar so that we can ensure that we're living up to our promises. In addition to those service level agreements, we incorporate the principles of peer sharing and learning through our net community offerings. We're really invested in the welfare of our clients, and that's really evidenced by our rapid response in providing vital, up-to-date information with all this COVID-19 situation and the new legislation that came out as a result of it. And in the end, we feel like the results speak for themselves, as evidenced by the 95% retention rate we boast and our industry-leading net promoter score of 72, which is on par with companies such as Apple or Costco. For those of you that aren't familiar with the net promoter score, that's just asking the client, hey, how likely are you to recommend Netchex to a friend or a colleague? And so on average, we're rating about a 72 out of 100, which again, is on par with some of those big names like Apple and Costco. You know, beyond service, we also recognize that we live in a highly connected world. And in business today, you know, HRIS and payroll, they typically serve as the system of record, at least for our employees. You know, Club Automation does a great job on the member side. The Netchex platform can be incredibly strong as a standalone product, and we've got a lot of customers that use it that way effectively. But if you've already invested in other tools, you really want to ensure that your HCM technology works with those tools to help drive additional efficiencies in your business, especially around areas like back office financials and GL reporting. We're super proud of our capabilities around GL integration, our ability to output data to Excel, to integrate with our benefits carrier, send out filed feeds, hosting an API library. We're also super excited about this integration that we're launching with Club Automation. And with our integration with Club Automation, you guys are going to be able to bring in your payroll items from Club Automation into Netchex Payroll with just a few clicks. Hey, how much am I paying these trainers for the sessions that they've hosted? How much do I need to pay this employee for the lessons that they've done? Hey, what about employee receivables? You know, do I have somebody that made a purchase in the club that I need to take out of their paycheck? And so with just a few clicks, you'll be able to grab that information from Club Automation and bring that right into Netchex Payroll without having to rekey any of that data. So we are super excited to launch this partnership with Club Automation and to give you guys that level of integration between our two systems, because we know that, hey, Club Automation does a great job of capturing this information, but ultimately it's got to end up in payroll. And so just a quick recap, there's a ton of value in just giving Netchex a chance. Take a look and see how we can help improve your operations. We love the health club space, and we know how valuable your time and your budgets are. And we want to help find a solution that works for you. And so typically, hey, we just ask for some time to talk through your processes. We can maybe share some best practices with you, what we've learned from other health clubs. And if it makes sense, we'll schedule some time to do a deep dive demo together and show you what it could look like with a partnership with Netchex and Club Automation. And so with that, guys, hey, happy to open it up for questions. You can put any questions that you have in the Q&A box or the chat box of this Zoom meeting, and we'd love to be able to answer those for you. For more information, you can see the link on the page here, info.netchex.com/club-automation. Hey, we'll send that out to you guys in the follow-up so that you have that. But if you just want to jot that down, just note it is info.netchex.com/club-automation, or email us hello@netchexonline.com. And so with that, why don't we go ahead and open it up for any questions that you guys might have?
Sounds good. Thank you so much for walking us through that. We appreciate it. We did have one question come through that was, I've been on ADP for a while now and it's okay. What is the difference with Netchex?
Hey, actually, that's a great question. We have a lot of clients that come to us from ADP, and really there's usually two main differences that we see. The first one is going to be on the technology side. We showed just a few clips of the technology, but our clients tell us that they find it just easier to use. Not only easier for their employees to do things like self-serve, find a pay stub, a W-2, update their information, but also easier for the administrators on the back end. Whether it's just getting in and making a change to an employee and only having to do it once, or the ability to go in and find a report quickly and easily. We just hear a lot that, hey, this experience, this technology is much easier and more intuitive. The second big piece is really on the support side. A lot of our clients tell us that with some of the big national providers, they have some frustration around their support, whether it's long hold times, talking to different people in different departments with different answers, always getting somebody new when I call and not really sure if I'm getting the right answer. And so we talked a lot about our service experience. We are really providing our clients with a dedicated support team that understands the space that your business is in, also your business itself and the complexity. So when you call, you don't have to worry about talking to somebody new and retelling the same story over and over again. Our average hold time for live answer is under 60 seconds. So you don't have to worry about long hold times before getting someone on your dedicated team that can help resolve your issue. So that's a long answer to say, hey, really two big differences. One is the technology and the ease of use, and the second is your support experience when something comes up.
Good deal. Thank you. We have another question that was asked by Sarah, and she said, will I be able to get my historical payroll data from my current payroll company into yours?
Yeah, it's an excellent question, Sarah. So we bring all of the year-to-date payroll for the employees so that we can produce just one W-2. A lot of companies right now are looking at making a January switch, but we switch clients 12 months a year. And so we'll make sure that we bring in all of that payroll data for the current year so that employees are going to get just one W-2 from us. Great question.
Good deal. We do not have any other questions that have come through. Anything before we wrap up?
Hey, I'll just say thanks so much for your time and attention. I know you guys are all super busy, and we appreciate you giving us a few minutes to learn a little bit more about the partnership between Netchex and Club Automation.
Good deal. And just as a reminder, I posted the link in the chat for the info.netchex.com/club-automation. This will be going out as a follow-up email next week with the recording. So if you have anyone in your team that you want to share it with, we will happily send it your way. But thank you all. Thank you to the Netchex team for joining us today. We hope you have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks so much.